Hey, Davey-O. Steve Sicking here to say congratulations on being elected to the St. Augustine Prep Hall of Fame for basketball. I can't think of anyone more deserving. Of all the years I played there was no one more relentless than you at the game and more passionate about the game. I know you went on to even bigger and better things following high school, but really special to be with you on that state championship team. And I wish I could be there this evening to celebrate with you, but as you can see, I'm busy with business away. So, in any event, congratulations, enjoy your evening, you deserve every bit of it.
Conversation doesn't go by within a week where someone asks me, who's the best player you've ever coached? And David Orlandini's name comes up every time for a lot of reasons. Without question, David, you are one of the most versatile players I've ever had the opportunity to coach. You're one of the few kids who could have played the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, or the 5, and be very good at whichever spot it was. But probably the best attribute about you is you were a lot of fun to play with. You were the kind of guy everybody wanted to be around, and the kind of guy that your personality was infectious to everyone else. It was a pleasure coaching you. I know you had a great career at Princeton also, but you had a great career at St. Augustine, and it's an honor to have you come into our Hall of Fame.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to start by thanking the St. Augustine Hall of Fame Committee for electing me to the Hall of Fame. It's quite an honor. Secondly, I'd like to say it was good to see Coach Rodeo back on the sideline this year after everything he went through. It's amazing to think that he's been on that sideline since the late 70s. It's a heck of a run, and I mean, there's a whole lot to say about longevity, and quite frankly, if you keep up this pace, Coach, they're going to run out of things to say, and that's a good thing. So, keep on trucking, Coach. I think it's a testament to Coach that if you asked all the players that came before me and the many that came after me about their time in the prep uniform, they say it was an honor, myself included. But I've also had the distinct honor of being coached by those who Coach had on his staff in the early 80s. Two of them were close family friends, and I feel compelled tonight to mention them. First and foremost is Mr. Tom Bono. Mr. Bono was a longtime family friend, and those who frequented Richland in the late 70s know he owned the deli on Route 40 and the railroad tracks. I think that's the only reason you probably would frequent Richland back then was to go to Mr. Bono's deli. It was awesome to have someone you knew all your life on the sideline during our championship run in '82. After we defeated Bailey Eller for the state title, Mr. Bono famously took out a piece of chalk in the parking lot of the Meadowlands Arena, got down on a knee, and wrote in Italian, "The pig is dead." Anybody that followed us that year will know what that means. Secondly, Coach had on his staff Jimmy DiDomenico. Jimmy D was a great player in Buna at the time, and I remember as a kid watching him play against my brother Billy, and I followed him in the newspaper. Back when newspapers were actually a thing. It was very cool to have him in the program and think, man, I could do what he did, And last but not least was Tom Baruffi. Tom lived next door in the old Roosevelt Boulevard neighborhood in Vineland, where there was always a game going on. And not only did I grow up next to Tom, but I watched every high school game of his because he played on Coach's first team at the prep in 1978, along with my brother Bobby. So to say it was an honor to have him on the sideline and the coaching staff my senior year just doesn't seem to do justice. Thank you, Coach, for putting together such a great staff. But that '78 team, that was the team that started everything. I'm going to throw some more names at you, Coach, besides my brother and Bobby and Tommy. Chris Lirio, Joe Corbo. That team, that '78 team, they set the bar. They were scrappy. They played good, hard basketball, and they opened the door to our success. And we had some success in the early 80s. And we had a lot of firsts. First state championship in 82, first Cape championship, and our first year in the Cape in 83. First back-to-back Cape championships in 84. It was a nice run. But what I remember most was how we all got along as teammates. There was really no infighting. There was, no griping among teammates. I think the worst we had to deal was Steve Capuccio thinking he was open all the time. And Steve, you weren't, right? I got to go to class soon. I swear, every time he caught the ball, you see Steve sitting there. You'd hear this. And you'd look out the side of your eye and you see Steve like this. I don't know if Steve's there tonight, but you guys would know because if you got your food before him, he'd be at the table behind you going like this. Hell, I mean, if that's the worst thing we had to deal with, we did all right as teammates. And we didn't even mind throwing Steve the ball because he could flat out shoot it, right? But I guess the moral of the story is we had chemistry and you can't teach that. There's not a science teacher in a lab anywhere that could recreate that. So I'd like to thank everyone that I played with in my 4 years at the prep, which are way too numerous to name. I'd like to thank all those players that came before us who set the bar so high. And I'd like to thank all the coaches that I played under because without them, it would be a lonely honor. Also, I'd like to congratulate all the other honorees tonight. Salute to you. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the evening. Stay safe and good night.